Part 2. Crimson Flower. Great Tree Moon. Field of Revenge. With the capture of Aryan Road complete, the Imperial Army moves to invade the kingdom capital. They plot to send troops toward now vulnerable House Fraldarius territory and plan to attack Ferdiad from two sides.
So, Aryan Road has fallen. Rodrigue, Felix, Ingrid. I swear that I will not allow your deaths to be in vain.
The scouts have just now returned. Seems the Imperial Army is marching toward the kingdom capital. Are you certain about this, Dimitri? As king, do you think it wise to intercept them yourself?
No need to worry yourself. Even if I am defeated, the Blathed bloodline will live on. And the kingdom's territory has never been rich in resources. If the castle falls under siege, our loss is inevitable. I will deploy my army onto the plains and wait for the enemy. Please, position your forces so that they can flank the Imperial Army.
Yes. Given the present situation, making the plains our battlefield is a logical choice. I have no objection. However,
there is only one person I am after. I have no interest in any other prey.
I will take you at your word. Erasing the other child's existence is my task, and mine alone. I will get you back, Mother. I promise.
What do you think, Lady Edelgard? Will they shut themselves inside of Ferdiad?
They will try to intercept us. Of course, Ferdiad will not fall so easily. Even so, if we were to cut off their supply line with a large army, it would eventually fall. It makes much more sense for them to wager everything on a victory at the Tailtean Plains. The same plains where the so-called divine Saros defeated Nemesis, the King of Liberation, in a comeback victory over 1,000 years ago. And about 400 years ago, the hero Lugh created the kingdom by defeating the Emperor of the time on those very plains. Their goal must be to recreate that scene.
Yes, I suppose so. Although the Imperial Army is powerful, if we were to compare the strength of our best to the best of the Knights of Saros, we would likely come up short. The Kingdom's army and House Blathed are also renowned for their unmatched persistence. On the battlefield, it can be assumed that their one and only goal will be to strike you down.
Are you telling me to stay off the battlefield?
Naturally. You are their aim, Your Majesty. You must know it only makes sense to keep you out of their reach.
And you must know that, at a time like this, I absolutely cannot withdraw.
Of course I know that. That is why I will refrain from asking you again to stay away from the battlefield.
The Immaculate One, descendants of the 10 elites, and other extremely fearsome foes await us. But with the help of our friends, we have a chance of defeating them. We're the only ones who can. Within our group, I am included among those with the kind of strength we need to win. I absolutely will not remove myself from the front lines. Professor, you have that same strength as well, whether or not you realize it yet. As Emperor, I must not die in this war, and it would be unacceptable to lose you as well. Until the very end, we'll survive this trial together. Understood?
Professor!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The war is careening headfirst toward its grand finale. Do me a favor and get through this mess alive, okay? After the dust settles, maybe I'll go on to guard other entrances in other parts of the world. I'm a dreamer, my friend. Always have been.
Professor! The War of Fodlan unification is finally reaching its climax! I must surpass myself in the struggle to come if Her Majesty is to recognize my power. But don't you see, your presence would diminish the grandeur of my achievements. The culmination of all my studies, all my magical experiments, shall be unleashed in battle!
So, it's finally time to take on Ferdiad. Can't wait to get in there and show him what I'm made of. Hopefully I get a go at that Dimitri guy before all is said and done. It's war, pal. If you can't be blunt on the battlefield, what are we even fighting for? He may be the Tempest King of Ferdiad, but I'm the Grappling King of the world! My domain is way bigger. Grab a front row seat if you can manage. These arms of mine will knock some sense back into that towhead of his.
Hey, word is, Garreg Mach's starting to look like a real town again. With the Empire winning one battle after another, it seems like the end to the war is finally in sight. There's hope for recovery now, even for Abyss.
If we win this next battle, it won't just be a victory against the kingdom, but also the church. Maybe they'll all die. Even the people from the church who lied to me and locked me up. I don't care either way. If they died, I would say, well, that happened, and move on. I don't owe them my compassion. They've never shown me any.
Yeah, seems like a lot of people from House Road died in Arianrod. I know Edelgard is saying it's the church's fault, and she hasn't been shy to express that. But that doesn't seem right to me. You should ask Edelgard or Hubert. They'd know more than I do. Some think that all we have to do is take down Ferdiad to end the war. But I don't think it's quite that simple.
Huh? I hear there was a pretty spectacular battle up there recently, but we don't hear a lot about that stuff. There was a lot of talk when it first started, but 5 years on, it's just a fact of life. What? There have been lots of battles on the surface recently? I hadn't heard. See what I mean?
If we win this battle, it will be an end to the kingdom and to the church. Under the Empire, an era of peace would begin. Many people are cleaving to this notion, but I wonder if it would really end up as such. Such resolve. It's convincing to say the least. I wonder, was the collapse of Aryan Road really the church's doing? Or could it be that... Never mind me. Just thinking aloud.
Hey! Pardon me. I have a fiancée back home, and I promised her I'd come back alive. No matter how tough the fight gets, I won't die. I have to survive and make it back to her.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this meal. How did you know?
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
This food brings fond memories.
Ooh, exquisite! This is exactly the meal I've been craving.
Professor, once you set out on your next mission, you won't be able to have a proper meal for a while, right? You should eat up while you can. Build up your physical strength to prepare for the mission.
Did you want something?
Sorry, I was a bit lost in thought. Or rather, I was thinking about work. My brother had sorted out all his personal affairs, but apparently he'd forgotten about his work duties. So now I've got a ton more work on my plate. Oh, brother, why must you be so careless? Once this war is over, I'm gonna take a vacation and get some well-earned rest, back home with my mother.
What? We're almost to the kingdom capital of Ferdiad. Just imagine, The war might almost be over. But is it true that Aryan Road was annihilated? What in the world happened? What is the Saros Church, really? I always have, and I always will.
The Knights of Saros are led by the Archbishop herself, and the Kingdom Army is led by none other than the King. I have faith that the Imperial Army will prevail, but it still makes my knees feel a bit wobbly.
Hey, Professor.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. The time has finally come to set out for the kingdom capital, Ferdiad. I thought the same thing last month, but I still can't believe the plan was to ambush Aryan Road. I know it couldn't be helped, but even I wasn't let in on the secret. Me! Not gonna lie, that hurt a little. Ah, well, let's forget about that. I'm praying for your victory and your safe return. Hey! I thought you were going to attack the kingdom capital, but you attacked Aryan Road instead? Well, you sure had me fooled. She's a tricksy one, that Lady Edelgard. But this time, you really are going for the capital, right? I wish you the best of luck. Hey!
Interesting. Seems like the war is gonna end soon. Once the dust settles, it'll be back to rolling in fat stacks of gold for me. Hey, how about a favor? Welcome! Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon. Seems like once this...
Professor?
Professor, I have worries. What have I been achieving? When the war is ended, I will be returning to Bridget with much new potential. But have I had enough growth to become the ruler? I have gratitude. I will take your words into my heart. Bridget pride, techniques, and culture. I will be showing all of the world who we are.
Okay,
Rumor has it, King Dimitri is always accompanied by a man from Dusker with a terrifying face. And what's more, this man is said to be so huge, he's often mistaken for a bear.
That reminds me.
If the enemy forces come to intercept us, chances are high that we'll clash on the Tailtean Plains. The Tailtean Plains were the site of a famous battle in ancient times, right? That's what some book type of the library said, at any rate.
How about...
Hey, I could use a hand.
Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. From the Empire's perspective, it seems like the northernmost edge of the world. I have come a long way following you and Edelgard. To think, what if I had succeeded Duke Eyre as Prime Minister? I would never have had all these experiences. I hope that is true. I used to be so naive. For now, Let us join together and walk the path that Her Majesty lays out.
Right.
A moment.
Yeah. All right, off to the kingdom capital we go.
Huh. I feel like I've said that before.
All right, I'm fired up and ready to go.
Hi.
Right.
Professor, what should I do? Everyone's acting like this is leading up to the final chapter in a book or something. Is the battle ahead really going to be that climactic? Am I not taking it seriously enough? Yeah, you're probably right. I should take a breath and try to calm down. Thanks so much! I don't know if this is any fun for you, but I'm glad you invited me. Thanks so much! Still too hot. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah. I see. This was great.
Oh. Professor!
Hey!
Dear goddess. Dear goddess. For your safety, I'll do all I can to survive. But please, please don't die out there, Professor.
How about...
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
The war is at its end. Has the time finally come that I might kill you? And if we do not win, then we die. Either has its charms. Thank you. What do you want? Thank you. Could be worse. Oh. Yes. Yes. I'm better at fighting than talking. Of course. If you have something to say, just say it. Professor. You're strange. Oh, if you have some... Could be worse. I disagree. Oh, I disagree. Yes. If you have something to say, just say it. What? What? Of course. If you have... Could be worse. It's hot. Oh. I'll take it. Yes, if you have some... Could be worse. Thank you.
Professor.
This month, we will take all of the military force we can muster and advance to the kingdom capital of Ferdiad. I have no intention of retreating to Garreg Mach after we've come this far. We will only return after we've conquered Ferdiad and put an end to this war. Be sure to steel your heart and ready yourself for the battle ahead. Are you certain? If so, please help me raise the morale of our allies.
That reminds me. Over 1,000 years ago now, not long after the Adrestian Empire was founded, the first emperor and his army, with the aid of Saros, set out on a campaign to the north with the aim of unifying Fodlan. Meanwhile, in the northern reaches of Fodlan, Nemesis, the king of liberation, raised an army to take down the Empire. Both armies clashed on the Tailtean Plains, where Saros felled Nemesis. As a result, the conflict ended in a victory for the Empire. It's known as the Battle of Tailtean.
Hey, you.
When you think of it, as one approaches the end of a war, the sacrifices only grow larger, don't they? The winning side musters their forces and attempts to strike a decisive blow, while those of the losing side make desperate attempts to turn the war in their favor. Neither side will give. I only wish we'd consider those who lose their lives in that struggle. Yes, exactly my point. Let's be careful to ensure we don't lose our own lives, Professor.
Lord Arundel. As long as he exists, Lady Edelgard will... I believe I have explained before that he is the one who commanded the likes of Solon and Kranya. Cornelia, whom we defeated at Aryan Road, was also one of his. An irksome sort. We must not fail to be rid of him. He is a maggot, crawling in the filth of the world, feeding off the Empire like a parasite.
I like this dish.
Delicious.
I think I like this. Ooh, this is my...
You never know if each meal together might be our last. I try to treasure these moments.
I get what you're saying, but you shouldn't be so grim. Let's survive so we can keep eating together.